Hi everyone, this is Cindy Nierenberg. Welcome back to my YouTube channel where I'm on a journey to lose 65 pounds. This is week 33 and I had a good week, another good week. And when I got on the scale this morning, it showed a loss. So last week I weighed in at 220.4 and this week I weighed in at 219.0 for a loss of 1.4 pounds. And I'm really happy about that. But it was interesting because it got me thinking about what happens when we don't lose weight. Because honestly, I got on the scale this morning and I thought, I've had like 3 really good weeks in a row. And this may be the week where my body says, wait a minute, let's just catch some status quo here. But it didn't. And that doesn't mean that this week was a success. The numbers mean that it was a success. But what it really means is that I followed my program. I'm eating 3 meals a day. I'm not snacking, and I took sugar and flour out of my diet. And man, that has made all the difference, getting rid of the sugar and flour so that my body is not overreacting to those hyper-processed foods. But what I want to talk about today is, again, getting back to stepping on that scale and looking at the number. I'm going to school to learn about the psychology and the biology behind eating and weight loss. And as the weeks go on, I'll give you little tidbits from the program, but it's really fascinating. And one of the things that the instructor was talking about today was when you follow people on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or wherever you're following people, usually when you see somebody in the weight loss and diet industry talking about how to do it, they're usually somebody who's had some big success in weight loss on a particular way of eating. Now, my particular way of eating is now no sugar, no flour, 3 meals a day, no snacking. Somebody else's weight loss could be achieved through a different measure. So what you have to do is find the way that works for you. What I'm doing may not work for everybody, but you have to find the way that works for you. So when we are eating in a way that we are hoping will work for us, and we step on the scale and the scale doesn't give us the number that we want, we think that there's a problem with that, when there really isn't. The problem lies in the fact that we have such a low tolerance for failure. And honestly, that's really why most of us give up on a diet, right? We step on the scale, it doesn't say what we want it to say, and then we think, I'm working so hard for this, for what? Like, that's a lot of work for no results. And then that's when we quit. So I was reminded of a cartoon that I used to read when I was a kid. It's stuck with me my whole life. And the cartoon is from Mad Magazine. When I was a kid, we would just pore over the Mad magazines all the time. There was this cartoon in the back of a Mad magazine. I looked online so hard I couldn't find it. I spent way too much time trying to find it. But the cartoon was of like an archaeological dig, and it was in Greece. So the cartoon showed everything that was happening above ground and everything that was happening below ground. So above ground were these little guys with shovels and bandanas, and they were hot and sweating and digging, digging, digging. But the holes that they were digging were right between these beautiful Greek columns and these beautiful statues and artifacts, and you could see where each one of those was placed. And the digging that happened, completely around each one. And I thought, oh my gosh, it's exactly what we do when we're dieting and then we give up, right? We're so close to success and then we turn away from it and say, this isn't working. So online, I did find this little cartoon guys, the two that are working, like the guy at the top, right? He is like working. It's like how we feel when we first start a diet. Like, I'm going to do this no matter what. I'm excited. Like, this is my plan. I'm just going forward. Nothing's going to stop me. And then after we've been digging a while, after we've been dieting a while, we get tired and we get exhausted. And then all of a sudden we turn into that guy at the bottom who's now walking away from the treasure, and he was this close to it. Right? So many times we're this close, but because we have such a low tolerance for failure, we give up, we turn around, we walk away. So today what I want to say to you is, when you step on the scale and the scale doesn't give you the number that you think you should have, the think you deserve, or the number that you even desire, think about, instead of saying this doesn't work, say instead, this is just a reflection of my low tolerance for failure. And what I need to do is move forward as I fail. So failing forward, continuing to fail until I get it right. You guys, you've watched me now for like 6 months fail until I got it right. And I finally feel like I've got it dialed in now and I'm getting it right. And just because I see numbers going down on the scale, that doesn't prove that I'm getting it right. What proves that I'm getting it right is that I feel comfortable eating this way. I feel like I could eat this way for the rest of my life. I look forward to my meals. So many things. I'm sleeping better, less stressed. So many things are going right, whether that scale says I've lost weight or not. But in all fairness, I do love it when I lose weight. All right, guys, that's it for this week. I'll see you next week with good news.